The main one that we will be needing is the access token to verify the user. So we can do this through a middleware service to try to decode the whole decode this thing to make sure it's valid. Now, if none of you have any exposure to JWTs, I do recommend you look into it. Just look into JWTs and how they work for the most part. Otherwise, if you do know even some of it, or you use the JWT package in JavaScript, like, it should be fine. So let's make an auth middleware, TypeScript, and over here we're going to be making a class of auth middleware, and over here we do need the pool region. Let's keep this empty for now, and a constructor, and let's make a middleware for verify tokens, verify token, and this will pretty much take a request. In the request type response, in the response type, and then the next function which the middleware gets. It doesn't really return anything, so return void. We do have to import a few things over here, so let's import some stuff from Express, which is the request response. That's about it. Another thing that we need to import is, we can do that later actually. So let's set this up to verify the tokens. So what we need to do is we need to get the token from the request and then validate it. So let's pass the token into the body right now. Seems like the most simple, the simplest thing that we're doing so far. So actually let's get it through the header, because the header is the more appropriate way of doing things. So request dot header, and with the header value of auth, then we get the token here. And then pretty much we need to see, let's console log the token to see if we're getting it. And if we don't have a token, please do return, actually we don't need to return, just do response dot status. 401 is the status code for unauthorized, so we do that, and then we decode the JWT. Let's put this to any, and JWT dot decode token, which we get, and then check the complete to true. Let's import the JWT stuff. Actually, let's import all the JWT stuff. So import statement, first we'll need the JSON web token package, and from there we will need JWT, and after that we also need the JWK to PEM from the JWK to PEM. And last but not least, we need to import the fetch from node fetch library. Cool, we got all the JWTs that we need. We shouldn't be doing any more importing, at least I hope. So let's check if the JWT doesn't exist, then also we got to do a lot of checking, right? Like it's just the way it is. So response dot status, let's do 401 again and end it. After that, let's get the key ID from the decoded JWT header dot key ID. Let's go here. So we need PEMs. So we need this PEM. PEM is again, I'll attach documentation in the description, but we need to convert our JW we need to generate PEMs from JWKs. So let's actually leave it right here because we need to extract the PEM from somewhere, and we don't have any PEMs right now. So you know how I made this constructor here? So let's make a setup function for the constructor. Let's make it private because no one else should be accessing it. And then const URL is equal to, so we need to get the Cognito JWK's URL, and let's get that. So this is the URL that you'll need to get all the well-known JWKs. So go back here, paste that in there. Let's put that $. So we need the region over here, the pool region, and then the user pool ID over here. So let's actually add that in right now. So private user pool ID is equal to this. We know this is US East 1. The pool ID, again, you can go to Cognito over here, go to app clients. Actually, no, you go to general settings, and the pool ID is right over here. So let's paste that in there, the pool ID. Let's make sure this is pointing to the right variable. This dot user pool ID. Cool. So now you know how we imported the fetch library. So now that's what we're going to use. So let's try catch this fetch. So we const response is equal to await fetch URL, and if response does not equal to the status code of 200, then throw an error that says request not successful. And then after that, let's get the data from the response. So response.json will get us the body, const keys from the data, and now we're just gonna for loop through all the data, so through all the keys. So we got the keys over here, index +1, and then keys at index is give us the key ID. Actually, we need the key ID, so we can go here and do the key ID. And then we need to get the modulus is equal to the keys index dot n, and the const exponent is equal to, actually this is getting too repetitive, so I can go key const key is equal to keys index. So now I can replace all this with just this, and then key dot e, and then const key type is equal to key dot key type, and then JWK is equal to KT key type, key type, and then n is the modulus, and then e is the exponent. Cool, we got our JWK, so now we can get our PEMs from it. So const PEM is equal to JWK to PEM. We're going to pass our JWK in there. And now we need to store this. So we'll have this hash map of PEMs, and we will store them by the key ID is equal to the PEM, the PEM over here. And if any error happens, let's console log got all PEMs. And then if any error happens, then we console log sorry could not fetch JWKs. Save that, and inside the constructor we just need to run this dot setup. Now we can get access to the PEMs, and also let's create the PEMs over here. So let PEMs is equal to this object at the top. So now we have access to the PEMs globally. So now globally, what? Anyways, key ID that gives us the PEM for this key ID, and then if PEM does not exist, then response dot status dot repetitive dot end, that gets repetitive. But we're almost there. So now JWT, now we verify the token. So verify the token with the PEM, and then it's gonna take an error and a payload, and it's a callback function. And over here, if there is an error, if error exists, then response dot status code 401 dot end. Yeah, so that's unauthorized. Else we wanna go to the next function. So this is the middleware. This middleware will be attached to multiple functions. So next is just saying, hey, call the next handler in the chain. So now we got this bad boy. So now we can go to something we want to protect. So let's create a controller here, a new file called protected controller.typescript. And let's just, for the sake of time, let's copy this, paste this over here, and protected controller. And then let's do this also down here. And pretty much we're gonna keep like a secret here, you know, ooh, secret. So this is the secret. No, the secret, I know a better one. This is worth the time. The secret is cupcakes. Whew. All right, so now we'll put this under protected. So it'll be protected secret. Cool, so now we initiate the routes, and now we just gotta go into the server and pull the protected route over here. So we go protected controller, and then over here we go protected controller, and then we pass this in over here. Well, one more thing is we need to import the Cognito, the middleware that we just created. So go back, middleware / I think it was auth middleware. Yep, auth middleware. Cool. And over here we can get our auth middleware. Cool. So now we want to protect it using the auth middleware, right? So in the constructor over here, we want to create this dot auth middleware is equal to new auth middleware. instantiate that, and then we will create a private member of this, and then pretty much we're going to protect everything below this. So router dot use this dot auth middleware dot verify token, which is the handler that we created in your verify token. Cool. So now let's try to access this secret as soon as we import middleware. Has no default export. Yep. Export default auth middleware. Save that. We gotta change this to an async function. Gotta change this to an async function over here so it can do all the try catching and stuff like that. Another thing is that we're not extracting from body anymore, so this can just be a token. Save that, and that should, yeah, there we go. Sorry, could not fetch JWKS. Ooh, I wonder what's the reason why. Oh, I know why. So there is a period right over here, which I copied from the documentation accidentally. So we can do that, and we should see this getting compiled. Sorry, could not fetch JWKS. Oh, so another thing, silly goose, is I was just checking the response, but it was actually response.status, and that should give me what I need. Oh, and we also want to add await keyword over here because we do need to await for this. This is a promise. Yes. KTY. Save that. Got all PEMs over here. Woo! So now let's go here and let's check our middleware service, whether it's up and running. First, let's send stuff without protected secret. Let's just do a regular fetch. We can see it's 401 on unauthorized over here, and that's because we're not passing any ID tokens or anything like that. So let's first get our new ID token over here, send this request in, and we go back here, copy this access token, go back to this over here and add a auth with the key over here. And if we send that, the secret is cupcakes. So you see that how it's verified, and see if there's anything wrong with this. So let's say we remove this 6 over here, this whole token becomes invalid over here. So now it's a 401. So this is how we can use Cognito services to return a JWT token to try to help us authorize users. Now you can attach this middleware anywhere. I attach this middleware specifically in the protected controller, but you can have many. You can have posts that are protected and just attach it right under the post if all posts need it. It's a really useful tool, and you can expand on this very greatly. But in summary, this is short the Cognito service as an express backend. So I hope everyone enjoyed this 3-part series. I hope to expand on this further. I will make more videos, maybe connecting it to Facebook, Amazon, and showing how to use their single sign-on to authenticate users that already have accounts on those platforms. But I hope everyone enjoyed and learned something new, just like I have. This is something that I learned recently too, so it's really helpful. And I hope just wanted to spread this information on, because I found it very hard to find an express backend tutorial. But anyways, thank you for staying tuned. Please leave a like if you did like this, or if you found this useful. It'd be really helpful. Thank you for listening, and yeah, see you in the next video.